Whether you're already trading options or just getting started, understanding what drives option prices is key to long-term success. Now I get it, option pricing can look like this vast web of complex math. But here's the good news. You don't need a degree in math or engineering to get it. In fact, once you understand the principles, the hard calculations are something we can just leave to computers. Today, I'll break down these concepts and walk you through the basics of option pricing, its history, and the main ideas behind it. Options are contracts that give buyers the right, but not the obligation, to buy or sell a stock at a set price within a set time frame. Well, there are two main types, calls and puts. A standard call option allows the holder to buy shares at a specified price, known as the strike price, until the option expires. For instance, let's say you have a call option with a strike price of $50 that expires in a month. That option gives you the right to buy the stock for $50. At expiration, if the stock is trading at $55, the option has $5 of value because it lets you buy the stock at $50 while the market is at $55. But if the stock is under $50, the option expires worthless. Calculating an option's value at expiration is easy. But predicting its value before it expires is a different story. This is where things get more interesting and complicated. For as long as options have been around, people have been trying to crack the code for pricing them accurately. Some early efforts date back to Charles Castelli's theory of options in stocks and shares, published in 1877. Although his ideas were foundational, they lacked a precise pricing formula. Since then, many other great minds, including Louis Bachelier and Paul Samuelson, took shots at it, but it wasn't until 1973 that Fisher Black and Myron Scholes changed the game with their paper, The Pricing of Options and Corporate Liabilities. This model, expanded by Robert Merton, finally provided a formula that was widely accepted in the financial world, boosting market liquidity and making options more accessible to everyday traders. It was so revolutionary that in 1997, Merton and Scholes even won the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences for their work. While Black Scholes was revolutionary, it's not flawless. Understanding its assumptions can help you see where it applies and where it doesn't. So here are a few of the big assumptions the model makes. It assumes that stock prices follow something called a Lognormal Distribution. This means that prices are assumed to drift randomly but with an upward bias over time. A bit like a Plinko board, tilted slightly upward. The model assumes that volatility, or the amount of price movement, stays constant. And we know this isn't true in the real world. It assumes that if a stock moves 2% today, that it's going to move 2% tomorrow. Now that's an obvious oversimplification, but it is helpful for calculating. The Black Scholes model also assumes options are only exercised at expiration, which is true for European-style options, but not American-style options, which can be exercised at any time up to expiration. Despite its limitations, the Black Scholes model remains one of the foundational tools for understanding option prices, and the theories it laid out are still widely used today. At its heart, option pricing is about probabilities, and two probabilities, called D1 and D2, really drive the Black Scholes formula. D2 is the likelihood that an option will be in the money at expiration, meaning it will have any value at all. D1 is a bit more nuanced, but essentially it reflects how much in the money value an option is likely to have if it ends up in the money at expiration. Now, to put these probabilities more simply, anything that increases an option's potential value at expiration raises the option's current value, while anything that decreases the potential value of an option at expiration lowers its current value. To calculate an American-style options price, we need 6 basic inputs. We need to know the strike price of the option, the current stock price, time remaining until expiration, forecast volatility, interest rates, and dividends. Of these 6 inputs, only the strike price of the option is constant. The other factors fluctuate and impact the option's price as time goes on. Stock prices move, volatility changes, and even dividends or interest rates can vary during the life of an option. Under most circumstances, the variables that have the biggest impact on the value of an option are price, time, and volatility. For many traders, price is the easiest variable to understand. If the price of the stock on which an option is based goes up, call options increase in value and puts go down in value. Conversely, if the stock goes down in price, call options lose value and put options increase in value. Let's talk about another variable. What about the impact of time on an option? As time goes by, the potential future value of an option can change. For example, if the stock stays stable for a week, it just kind of consolidates for a while, then the expected range of movement between now and expiration is going to narrow. This erodes the future potential value of the option, and therefore the current value of the option will drop as well. The third variable, volatility, is a huge topic by itself, and I could spend several videos talking about just volatility, but let's keep it simple for now. One of the practical tools derived from the option pricing model is the implied volatility curve. Implied volatility tells us how much the market expects a stock to move in the future based on the price of options. Well, this curve shows the movement range priced into the option right now. When implied volatility increases, the expected movement range expands. This means the potential value of all options on this stock will go up. Remember, anything that increases an option's potential value at expiration also raises its current value. So if implied volatility goes up, option premiums get more expensive. Conversely, if implied volatility goes down, option premiums get cheaper. I hope this video helps make sense of the basics of option pricings and helps shed some light on the Black Scholes model. If you're ready, let's dive deeper into these topics so you can approach options trading with a solid foundation.